It's Johnny from Expert Boxing here with my take on the Canelo Crawford Mega Showdown. You have Canelo, one of the most proven greats, greatest of all times, possibly greatest Mexican of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. You have a short, stocky middleweight who is shorter and has less reach than most of his opponents, but he's got so much power, speed, skills, offense, setting traps, landing huge shots, counter punching, amazing defense and head movement. And he's fought everybody of the past 15 years and was almost always the smaller guy. He's that impressive. He's proven. Then you have, on the other hand, you've got Crawford, which is another one of the greatest of all times. He deserves to be compared to like the Floyd Mayweather, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya, and arguably even more skillful. He's got incredible defense. He can move. He can avoid shots. He's got incredible footwork. He can get up and box, outpoint you. He's got incredible speed. He's got a chin. He can trade. He can brawl. He can switch stance. And he's so scary. And it was so sad that he's so scary that nobody would fight him during his prime. They kind of blacklisted him. Tons of fighters wouldn't face him. And when they finally did, they would get beat so dominantly, so convincingly. There was a 50-50 fight recently in the welterweight division with Errol Spence, who many people thought would be a 50-50 fight, and it wasn't. Crawford smashed him out, ran right over him, as I predicted. And so Crawford was the undisputed welterweight champion. He moved up a weight class and won a belt at 154. But now where this fight is, if we're going to compare the two of them, we have Canelo, which is huge, 168 pounds, and Crawford, who was mostly 147 pounds until recently, now fighting at 154. Crawford is still 2 weight classes away. On top of that, Crawford is older. He's 38 this year, whereas Canelo is 35 this year. 35 and 38 is a massive difference. 35 is like 1 year after, 1 or 2 years after your peak drop. Because your peak is like early 30s, and then you start to drop from there. Where Crawford at 38 is almost a 40-year-old. And it's not just that, but Crawford hasn't been as active. You can argue that even though he hasn't fought as many fights as Canelo, he might be fresher. He's also won his fights very dominantly. He might be fresher. But Canelo won his fights dominantly as well. He's not taken a lot of abuse in his fights. He's very, very hard to hit, much like Crawford. The people who think Crawford have a chance are looking at the numbers, and the numbers show that Crawford's a little taller, has 3-4 inches more arm reach, and also that Crawford's natural weight is possibly even heavier than Canelo's natural weight. Crawford might actually walk around at a bigger weight. But do I think this really matters in the ring? No, I think the weight in the ring matters. Canelo's competed at a bigger weight class against much bigger guys and won many of those fights convincingly. Crawford won convincingly against smaller guys. Right now with the age thing, I think is a big, big difference. Then we have another issue. If you want to study what might happen between these two, just look at Crawford's last fight, last year, against Madrimov, a stocky, short, powerful, explosive, skillful 154-pounder. I think Madrimov was a great test for Crawford to see if he could fight on Canelo's level or against somebody of Canelo's style and build. And what I saw Crawford losing that fight. He got outboxed, he got outpunched, and it was sad because he was getting older. This wasn't the best version of him. He was getting tired. He couldn't throw as many punches. He couldn't get Madrimov's respect. He didn't have the power to go up against the bigger Madrimov, who's only a 154-pound fighter, by the way. And Madrimov actually had a lot of skills. It wasn't like a skills versus size things. I think Madrimov had arguably equal amount of skills, equal amount of punches, impact landed, and yeah, Madrimov was right there with him. So I felt Crawford going up in weight didn't help at all with his age. He couldn't carry up his power. His footwork was a little slower. His energy was a little slower. and he had a lot of problems with Madrimov. I thought he lost the fight. So now, 1 year later, against Canelo, who's much bigger, much scarier, and faster than Madrimov, like quicker than Madrimov, and more experienced and proven, I think it's too much. Everything in my body says even a 70% version of Canelo would knock out Crawford. Even the best version of Crawford. But I also look at another fight. You can look at Canelo's fight with the smaller Charlo. I definitely feel Crawford is way better than the smaller Charlo. And if the smaller Charlo can, stay defensive and stall the fight out to a 12-round decision, then Crawford could potentially do that as well. Also, Canelo and Crawford like each other. There's a lot of respect. So I don't see the animosity. I don't see Canelo trying to embarrass him. I think Crawford won't have the energy. He's not going to try to brawl. He knows he won't be able to take Canelo out. So he's just going to try to keep this clean, make it like a slow boxing match, throwing 5 punches around. I think that's how it's going to go. He's going to use his speed, try to win some spots, but he's going to play it safe. I don't see him going all out because he can't. So I see this being a 12-round decision. How many points does Crawford win? I think Crawford wins 3-4 rounds tops, and the rest is all Canelo. Just by walking him down, stalking him, taking whatever he gives. He'll land punches, some jabs to your face. He'll dig some hooks to your body, and if you want to trade with him, he'll put you flat out. I've got Canelo easily by a 4-point win. I'm a big fan of both, and I'm sad that Crawford couldn't get these opportunities earlier. But hey, respect to both these greats, and let's enjoy the fight.